They say you don't become a witch, that it's just one day you wake up and realize that's what you've always been. The one that doesn't always fit in. The one that likes the woods, the sun and sky, cats, owls, and the moon. The one who stays up late reading books, playing role-playing games, and learning the names of the stars. The one that likes to wear black eyeliner, capes. And then you realize, oh, that's what I am. I'm a witch.
Hey, welcome to the Seekers class. We're so glad that you can be here today. Today I'm here with Terry Riley.
Hi.
Right, Reverend Terry Riley from the Southern Delta Church of Wicca in Arkansas, Jonesboro, Lake City.
Lake City.
We call it Lady of the
town.
Lake City.
Yeah.
Because it's mostly witches there now.
Yeah. Very small town. A little bit bigger than Index.
Yeah, it is a little bit bigger than Index.
Yeah.
That's true, except for, do you have a gas station?
We have a gas station. We also have a Sonic. And we
it's
also,
way bigger than Index. Yeah, you beat us.
We have a Mexican restaurant. Yay.
Yeah, we have none of those things. Index has a hiker store. It doesn't even have a gas station. What are you going to do? Well, I am so excited. Terry Riley is here with me today because he has traveled up here for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
To be part of Spring Mysteries Festival. He's holding Hades this year.
Yes.
The vessel. He is the vessel of Hades. And this is quite an experience, isn't it, Terry?
Oh, yes. I mean, well, this will be the first time that I've actually been at Spring Mysteries holding a God form in person. I've done it online, but this will be the first time I get to actually be here in person. And I'm excited about that. I've never held the God form Hades for an entire year. That's a new experience as well. I'm learning a lot about Hades that I didn't know before. So yeah,
I got really close to it.
Got really close to it now.
Well, give us an idea of something that you've learned.
Well, it dawned on me, especially when I was in rehearsals yesterday and stuff, that Hades, most people have the concept of Hades being this dark lord in the mythologies. He's always, very stern and evil and and that got pointed out to me, and I said, yes, that Hades is his personality is on the autistic spectrum scale.
He's very emo.
Yeah, very, very
very emo.
Work-minded and detailed and stuff. And it's not that he's just being that big of a badass. He's just focused, and he doesn't see everything the way everybody else sees it. He sees duty. He sees this. That's the most important thing to him. He doesn't have he's down there in the dark. He don't have a whole lot of people to express emotions with. So he's not used to that. So, and me being the sanguine dancing chicken I am, it's been a new experience holding that energy and being that reserved.
So yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is. Well, the wonderful thing about holding these deities as vessels is that it's such a it's a deep spiritual experience. It's like a ride,
Mm-hmm.
And Hades is the god of the underworld. So one of the things that we have found out is what you said, is that most people think of Hades as this, but then when you become a vessel, you see him in a completely different light.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the vessels agree that this is how they see Hades, which is why we have Hades of Cascadia, because over 2,000 years, the gods have evolved. And Zeus, the myths that we have of the Zeus of Olympia, or Olympus, Mount Olympus, that don't ring true with the Zeus that we know. The Hades we know, the Artemis we know, they're just not the same. And we feel that the stories have been changed and the gods have evolved. And they show us new faces of themselves, which are really fun and interesting. And wow, rehearsal was an experience.
Yes, it was. Yeah, like I said, I held Zeus, I think 2 years ago, but that was online. And if you're not up here, in person, and got, interaction with the people that care about you and help you if you're having a struggle. Well, if you're doing it, say in Arkansas, and you're holding up, I was holding Zeus for a year. Well, my church members were going, "What is wrong with Terry?" Because I wasn't the same, I was more of this and more of that, and they had to get used to that. And then I had to get on the phone to Bella or whoever, go, "Hey, I'm having to do this now. What's going on?"
Why has time become such an important factor all of a sudden? I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. That's what Zeus is very focused on. You do not have enough time to do all the things you want to do, get on it. Yeah. Which is not what I would expect from Zeus. From the stories
not from the bad PR he's gotten over the past
right. As somebody who's a leader, we understand how the bad PR gets started, don't we?
Oh yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Well, speaking of the bad PR, let's talk about our card today. Terry's standing in for the lovely lady Lola Starr, who is my cohort in chaos on here. We have us a good time, Terry.
I know. I've been on the show with Lola on her show. Yeah,
she's fun. Oh my God! So the threefold law of return. Isidora's trying to figure out how to get you in scene. Sit more towards me so they can see your lovely face. There we go.
Okay.
So the threefold law of return. It was funny earlier today because I was like, we're going to have to talk about this. And that's going to be hard for me because I don't believe in it. And Terry went, "What?" And I went, "Wait a minute. That didn't come out right." That didn't come out. I was thinking about something else. I was talking about something else. I'm making pizza. I don't know what I'm saying, Terry. Don't pay no attention to me. The threefold law of return, we kind of talked about it a little bit. And, the thing that I believe about the threefold law of return is that I don't know if it's threefold, ninefold, 20-fold, one-fold, minus a half a fold. Right. I don't know. But I just know that what you put out comes back to you, and what you create a reality with your thoughts and your deeds, and that's the reality you live in. And I want to create the things consciously that I want to have instead of allowing my fear to drive the bus. Right.
Pretty much so. I mean, I look at it, and when I teach it to my students down there, I say, because I teach the 7 universal laws, and that when you're doing spell work, or when you're even thinking and your thoughts are going out into the ether, you have what is called comeback. Now, like she said, I don't know whether it's threefold, tenfold, but I do know that, if you follow and study the 8 universal laws, there is the law of rhythm, there's the law of cause and effect, there's the law of vibration, and all these come into play. And it's we're not talking about theories. These are laws that have been established. And if you don't understand
universal laws.
The universal laws, they're universal. And when you do spell work, you're calling into play all 7 universal laws to interact. Well, cause and effect, on that one law alone, it really talks about what we're talking about, comeback, karma. For everything that happens, like if I take this, I'm at there, and I hold it like that, and I go, I let go. This is the original cause. Boom, that's the effect. But that effect creates another cause, which can create another effect. So cause and effect don't stop with just cause and effect. It's continuous from now on. And that comes into play with the threefold comeback. Once it starts in motion, it keeps recreating another new cause and another new effect, which creates another new cause and another new effect. That's why they get multiples of threefold, tenfold, 1,500-fold comeback.
Interesting, Terry. So what you're saying is that a body in motion tends to stay in motion, and a body at rest tends to stay at rest.
Yes, unless they create another effect and another original cause. Yeah.
Right. So, one of the beautiful things I love about universal law is that scientific law often backs it up if you know which law to look at, and it validates our magic. Isadora, our lovely producer, is showing us this beautiful card in more detail so that we can talk about the details of it. This is a fantastic card. I really love how her heart chakra is generating these three colors, gold, blue, and pink. What would those colors signify to you?
To me?
Yeah. What do you think they mean in this particular card?
Generally, I start, being the Wiccan, I start associating with the elements. But pink, generally, I go to rose quartz, which generates the emotions and love, and especially if this is coming from the heart. And blue would also be in the emotion, the realm of water. Okay. And then the yellow or the gold would be in the element of air, which is knowledge. Okay. So you got to be able to take your heart emotions, the emotions, and be able to utilize them with correct knowledge and not let them lead you totally without some intellect coming into play. Because if you let your heart lead you to everything, you're going to get into a world of trouble because you haven't thought it through. How many of you have been in a relationship that went, wow, this person is and then you go, oh my God.
Oh my God, what am I thinking?
Exactly.
Oh,
I should have thought this through.
How do I get out of this room? Yeah. So it's really interesting that you said that, Terry, because I love how they look like red, blue, and yellow, the three primary colors. I thought of them as the three primary colors too. And I thought of them as pink, which is goddessy and female, blue, which is God, and gold, which is the immortal self. And that's what I think of when I do healings is I pull green down from the goddess below and from God above, and then I blend it in my heart and I send it out in my hands. And I thought that was really beautiful because it's like God, goddess, and your higher self help create your reality.
And
do you want to say something?
They look like cyan, magenta, and yellow, which are the three colors you mix to make everything else.
Those are the three colors on the printer. Wow, yes, interesting. And the purple and the blue look very Zeus and Hera with the lightning bolts and the evil eye.
Yep. I like that too.
The fleur-de-lis type things at the top, the banners. It's that are I guess they're arrows pointing in.
Yeah.
Yellow going in, blue going in, red going in.
Yeah.
So your what you send out comes back to you.
Yeah, or it's coming in from the universe through the thing, comes into your heart, and you're sending it back out. So cause and effect, and return.
And all of those little spirals mean cause and effect, cause and effect.
Yep.
I mean, that's just the bottom line. And what we learn in magic is what we put out there comes back to us. People are like, well, can I do a spell? I'm like, I mean, you can do a spell, or you can just get your mind right and do the right thing every day to make the things happen that you want to make happen. And that'll happen too, right? Like spells are great.
Right.
I light incense and say prayers. I light candles and say prayers, but mostly I work really hard to make something happen, and then I trust that God is going to have my back.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And I try not to step on too many toes along the way, although I think that sometimes it's, people try to trip you up, but you got to do the best you can, and that's all you can do. Right?
I heard a wise old crone in Tennessee one day.
We're going to talk about Mama Dragon.
Yes, we are. Mama Dragon, Trudy. She was explaining at a festival we were at. She was doing a workshop, pretty much similar to what we're talking about here, and she explained it to these new people that were coming into the craft so simplistically. She said, a spell is nothing more than a prayer that's acted out.
Right.
And that's so simple,
Same thing with ritual.
Yeah.
Acted out prayer.
And it applies to as it is above, so shall it be below. Well, that works right reverse. As it is below, so shall it be above. So what you do in your spell work in the physical, you're actually promoting up to the spiritual, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So, it's a simple process. I love that concept.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. And one of the things that I always think is interesting is I read cards for a living.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to get a card reading from me, you can go to my service at keen.com and pay like $15 a minute, or you can contact me on Facebook and pay way less than that.
Okay.
But when people are like, "Oh, I want you to read my cards," I'm afraid you're going to say something bad, and I think to myself, have you done something bad? I usually don't say that, but that's what I think, because if you're worried about something bad happening to you, are you putting good things out to the universe, or are you putting bad things out to the universe? Because bad things happen to everybody. Like,
right.
You cannot avoid people dying. Everybody, nobody getting out of this alive, Terry.
No.
There's nobody getting out of this alive.
Yep.
You're going to lose dogs. You're going to lose cats. You're going to lose jobs. You're going to total cars.
Right.
Bad things are going to happen. There's no way you can get around that. But how do you handle them?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Do you believe that everything's happening for you or to you?
Right. I mean, y'all always had a saying, and I still use it today, and I learned it in Amway, of all places.
Well, it's multi-level marketing companies. They teach you a lot of stuff.
They teach you a lot of good business ideas. The same
do.
with Mary Kay and different ones. And their saying was, it's not what happens to you in life that matters. What matters is how you deal with what's happening to you in life. You can either take it positively or negatively and beat you down, or you can look at it as a growth lesson, or a strength builder in your life. So it's like the old saying, I used to feel so bad because I didn't have any shoes on my feet until I seen a man sitting on the corner with no feet.
Right.
There's always going to be something else.
Gratitude.
Gratitude.
I talk about that all the time. So when you go to the gym, the dumbbells do not apologize for being heavy.
No.
And they don't make you pick them up.
No,
they don't care if you pick them up.
No.
You can let them sit there.
Yep.
You can pick them up and build up some biceps.
Right.
You can let the challenges beat you, or you can go, this is the challenge that it takes to get to the next step. You want to be a doctor, you got to go to college for 10 years. I'm not a doctor, a medical doctor, because, well, for one thing, I don't want to go to college for 10 years. But for another thing, I started working with doctors, and I decided I didn't want to think like that. Right. So you, along the way, you make decisions that cause you to change your mind about stuff. Those are wins. That's success. You have to see yourself as a victor, or you will see yourself as the victim of circumstance.
Right.
It's you're creating this reality. Your thoughts are things, your words are things. What you send out comes back to you. You either live in a universe where you think people love you, or you live in a universe where you think people don't.
Yep.
And it's all comes from you. If you're making stuff up, make up good stuff.
Well, people create their own little worlds of paranoia.
They do.
They
do.
What the definition of paranoia is? When you go to a football game and you think when they're in the huddle they're talking about you. That's the ultimate of paranoia.
You know what I say about paranoia?
Yeah, what?
Just because you're worried about them following you doesn't mean they're not.
It's true. That other one. It's not paranoia if everybody is out to get you.
That's right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if you got this in a reading, what would you think this meant? And while you're thinking about that, I just want to say we appreciate our sponsor, wiccanseminary.edu, for being so kind and encouraging us to teach classes and helping us share knowledge. We appreciate Lola allowing us to use her Seekers deck cards to share information and knowledge with seekers. And I want to thank our newest sponsor, Otter Spirit. OtterSpirit.com. They make these fantastic crystal bracelets. It's got a little silver otter. $1 from each purchase goes to save the otters. I love ethical merchants. And if you order from OtterSpirit.com and use the promo code ATCWicca20, ATCWicca20, yeah, Isadora put it up, you get a 20% donation goes to ATC Regular Mother Church.
right.
Isn't
Hey.
that awesome?
Yeah.
So thank
Like
you,
that.
Otter Spirit, for being an ethical merchant and for doing good things with your money. We appreciate that. These are really high quality, Terry. I love them. They're very nice. You know, sometimes you get them and you're like, oh, they're not very nice. You know,
no, those
these
really
are
nice.
very
I
nice.
like those.
Yeah, very high quality. So if I thought that if I got this reading, if I pulled it in a card reading, I would be like, uh-oh, what have I just done? And I would review what I had just done. Right. And I would decide that good things or bad things are going to happen to me based on what I just did. I would expect that I'm having a karma check.
Yeah.
Or some kind of,
you know,
rolling of the dice moment.
Yeah, because a lot of that, I think, maybe as magicians, sometimes we get caught up in programming and thought patterns. You know, you hardly everybody, you know, when something bad happens to somebody, you know, they usually say, well, my karma caught up with me.
Ooh.
You know, that's the programming. We associate in karma with something bad. You hardly hear anybody go, I won $10 million on the lottery. My karma is really working. You know, they don't associate the good things that happen with maybe some of the good things that come back to you. Okay, we always want to look at karma as bad stuff that happens. You know, like this is tit for tat and a punishment type deal. No, karma works both ways.
Good
I mean, a lot of the good things are going to come back to you as well as the bad things. You know?
And you know, you'll notice which ones you focus on, good or bad.
Yeah, exactly.
You are going to notice.
Yeah.
I've got a really cool trick about this, Terry. Let me teach you. I learned this in Mary Kay. If you can bring them way up, I'll bring Mary Kay up.
Okay.
Okay. So this is cool. All right. So I'm going to show you that you only see what you're focused on. So I want you to look around your room and see everything that is brown. Notice all the brown stuff in your room. Where's the brown stuff? Notice the brown stuff. Take stock of all the brown stuff. There's a lot of brown stuff in this room. Okay. Now close your eyes and think about everything that was green.
Well, it's not there.
Yeah, you didn't take stock of what was green. There's a lot of things that were green, right? So you got to focus on the good things. When bad things happen to me, I sit down and go, okay, what's the good in this? What's the good in this? What's the good in this? I know it's there. I know it's there. I know it's there. How is this happening for me and not to me? So there's a lot of that too, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of that too.
So this person says, watch what you put out. It can be messy. Just make sure it's a good messy is my thought on this card. I agree with that 100%.
I agree. Yeah, I do too. 100%.
Yep. It's okay to be a good messy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Digging in the dirt, getting in the garden.
Oh yeah, getting the hands dirty.
Yeah.
Now I do have this thing though. I've been a hard working man all my life. I earn a living with my hands and stuff. I can't stand dirt under my fingernails. It just drives me crazy.
I can't stand dirt under my fingernails either, Terry. I don't know what that's all about. Terry, I can't stand when my brown panties don't match. I have all kinds of colors and they all match. So
when me and Mandy went on the Jane Whitney show, I was sitting there. And we were doing the rehearsal for that show. This is back in '93. And Mandy got so upset because I had 2 different colored socks on.
Oh, God.
And I said, it'll be okay. They're only going to film us like here, from here up. She goes, you're not going on national TV with not matching your socks. So you got to make me go buy socks.
I'm going to tell you, if you, Mr. Witch, self-proclaimed witch Terry Riley back in the day, are going to go on television with 2 different colored socks on, they're going to focus on that, put it on television and say it was on purpose.
Here he is.
Some kind of spell.
Right there.
Some kind of spell. Why has this man got on 2 different colored socks? Is that on purpose? Is he just poor? Is he just bad fashioned? Is he colorblind?
Is he colorblind?
What is it?
I think that's what it was. It was a black sock and a dark blue one. So it wasn't like white.
It was very close.
very close.
But, you're like, I can get away with it.
He said, oh, no.
But that's a good woman right there, Terry. You know,
my back and my feet.
God bless Mandy. You know what she did at Samhain? Do you know? So I don't smoke cigarettes.
Right.
I have COPD.
Right.
I never really got into smoking cigarettes.
Right.
I used to smoke when I was younger to be
Right.
cool.
Right.
You know, at concerts and stuff and bars, but it'd take me, I don't know, 4 days to smoke a pack of cigarettes. And that's including a weekend. Okay.
Right.
All right. So I just don't care for it.
Right.
So we're at Samhain. Mandy is obviously there, and my grandfather is there. Now, my grandfather has come to Samhain before. He likes beers and cigarettes. So
Right.
I had a beer and cigarette because I have been told by my
Right.
grandfather that that's part of the requirement.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm getting up to finish the ritual, right? And something other than Bella goes, tell them it doesn't count if you don't light it, and bends over and lights this cigarette in the middle of ritual and stands up and takes 3 hits off of it before Bella can say, take this away from me. This isn't me. Help me. I'm not smoking cigarettes.
That was Mandy. I gotta do you. That was Mandy.
I was like, that was Mandy. I said, I bet my grandfather was like, how can we get her to smoke?
How can we get her to stay?
And Mandy's such a witch. She's like, I'll just possess Belladonna and get a hit of it. Come on with me. Hold my hand. It's so funny. Oh my
That's
God.
great.
She's
That's great.
something else. So that was hilarious. I was like, y'all help me. I can't smoke cigarettes. This isn't. Dusty was about to chastise me for smoking in the house like I was doing it on purpose. People can't be around cigarette smoke. Like,
You know, Mandy's up her loud with her hands.
oh, I know she is. I know she was that night too. So we were glad to have her there. It was wonderful.
Oh,
So, Britta, did you put down what you thought that would be the card if you drew it in a reading? Anybody else want to share what they think the card would do if they saw it in a reading? I was telling stories so that you could have time to write. Now, I know that Terry's too entertaining that you have to pay attention. But Terry, what would you think if you drew this card?
Well, first I would have to, like I said, get rid of the context. Generally, when I do a tarot reading, I pull a card when I do a thing, and
If you just pulled that one card for you today, right now.
Okay, here's what I would do. This is what I do. If I was doing it for someone, doing a
No,
reading.
doing it for you.
Okay, I would have to shut my eyes, focus on the card, and then open my eyes. First thing that pops to me is this little symbol right here in the cauldron. I can't see that. What is that little symbol?
Oh, what is that symbol in the cauldron, Isadora? Right there in the bottom. Yeah, go down. Yeah. Oh, I think it's just a light.
Yeah, but it's this drop of yellow paint.
Drop of yellow paint.
Okay.
Thank you, Izzy. That's good. We can see it.
Okay, now if I'm doing that reading, I go, what one little speck right there? What does that mean to me? What does that bring up in my imagery? What does that bring up in my feelings and emotions? Forget the rest of the card. What does that mean? And it's shaped like an arrow. Focus your intellectual thoughts. Maybe I'm too scattered. I need to focus them down like an arrow shoots. I've been called scatterbrained and stuff. Then what I'm doing now, I need to be focusing more, correct myself, look at my intellect, look at my thought patterns. Am I too scattered? Am I too spread out? So, that's the way I do tarot. I find one thing out of a card that jumpstarts me.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Brenna says the evil eye is sticking out to her. Well, that's because we got them on Marty's bracelets. We have the evil eye on all our Marty's bracelets. This is so cool. So I gave Marty's bracelets to all of the cast members. We have rehearsal weekend for Spring Mysteries. They still make Marty's bracelets, which are a holdover from the Oath bracelets at Eleusinian Mysteries. We still do these Oath bracelets at the modern day Eleusinian Mysteries, and you can go to those at springmysteries.com. You can register and then come to Seattle. They're right by the airport. People are like, where is it? I said, doesn't matter. It's by the airport.
By the airport.
No matter where you go, it's going to be by the airport.
From the airport.
Seattle airport.
Yeah, Seattle. When I flew in for Acate Sickle, I got on the bus that goes to the Hilton. It was only 3 blocks away. I could have walked. I didn't know that.
Yeah. By the time you sit down, you're there.
Yeah, boom, there you are.
Yeah, okay. So, all right. So the evil eye is standing out and lightning. Feels like knowing how to transmute energy into useful and positive from the negative.
Very true.
That reminds me of Uncle. Uncle Iro on the Airbender. I don't know if you know about the Airbender.
No.
What am I? I'm not saying that right. One of you have to tell me how I'm saying. The last Airbender. It's
Okay.
okay. So, Uncle teaches us how to shoot lightning, and you have to direct it out of your heart. You can't have it go through your heart. But nobody knows how to actually bend lightning.
Right.
But the lesson is about how to transmute energy by not getting your feelings involved. You just got to do the technique. You got to stay professional. You cannot get your feelings involved when you're doing the technique. And I think that that's what the evil eye and the lightning is all about. You know, it's like you said with the dragon.
Right.
The dragon doesn't decide if energy is negative or positive. Right. The dragon just uses the energy. Right. It's like, oh, here's energy. Boom, something to go with it. That is what I think leadership does. You don't look at it as good or bad energy. You just look at it as energy. Right. I'll say, Terry, I think we're under psychic attack. And he'll go, is that where I'm getting all this good energy from? I just got free carpet delivered.
See, the key word there that Brenda used is transmute. People confuse the word transform with transmute. In the universal laws, the first law is the perpetual transmutation of radiant energy. It's never destroyed, never created. It's just constantly transmuting into the next thing, not transforming. That's the transformers. No, transmuting is it's the same energy, but you can use it for love or hate. Okay. People want to say these are the opposite ends of the same thing. Transmutation is mutating it at its core level into another intent. Where transforming it is just the outer shell that's being transformed. So yeah, she's very accurate in that transmuting the energy from a positive to a negative, because you can't outer change that. That's just dressing it up. Transmuting it from its inner core, it takes on a whole different meaning when you look at it from that perspective. Yeah.
It's like when a cat lands on its feet.
Exactly.
It flies through the air,
yep.
And it finds a way to land on its feet.
Yep.
You don't know what's coming at you, but if you just land on your feet.
Yep.
You just transmute the energy and allow it to carry you to the next level.
It's like the cat.
Yeah. My teacher used to call it jumping up. He says it's the fool card. You got to jump off the cliff.
Yeah.
Jump up.
Yeah.
Jump up. Know you're jumping and jump up.
Yep.
Don't fall.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So. Well, okay, you guys, it's been so much fun with you today. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Right Reverend Terry Riley.
Thank you,
Regional Elder. I want to tell you, Terry Riley is something else. He is a legend in Southern Delta Church Wicca and the ATC and in Wicca, because he runs a food bank down in Arkansas, and he feeds his whole town down there. Takes care of children in the school. He got himself a grant. He has a wonderful, wonderful operation going on. And we're really proud. Terry Riley leads us and shows us how to be good leaders in Wicca. And we are appreciative of you as a role model.
Well, thank you for that, Bella. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you for coming and being the last minute guest. And we hope that Lady Lola is okay. She had to take care of her mother. Her mother had a little bit of spill. I think that everybody's going to be okay, but we had to make sure that the doctors took a look at that, because Lola's mother is older. So Lola, we're wishing you well and your whole family good. And we will see you next week. Love you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Y'all have a great night. Thanks, Brenna.
Me and Bella together now for 6 weeks.
Yay, 6 weeks. Oh my goodness. You're not going to miss a Monday.
Nope.
All the way to spring miss.
I'll be here all week and all month.
Tippy bartenders and waitresses. Good night.